Hey there, sexy souls. How are you all doing? Welcome to Weirdo Woo Woo. We're going to be doing a reading on money matters today. Not really a whole lot much more than that. I mean, I really felt like this was the energy feels kind of like a grand, like a secret revealed, but it's like, it's not like a secret. It's just information that's needed, you know, like that's not been readily at the forefront, almost like somebody doesn't understand. So it kind of feels like a secret being held, you know, like, and you're like, please let me in on, that's what it is. It's like, please let me in on this. And it has to do with money. And so I was like, okay. So I think that we're just going to kind of leave it broad like that and let Spirit fill you in. There we go. Spirit's going to fill you in on something surrounding money. So yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. So before we jump in, though, I'd like to give you that friendly reminder that you're the sovereign being over your life, which means you get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. Yeah, don't Cinderella shit to make it fit. It has a slightly serious tone, but I don't know if serious is the right answer. I think it's more or less like, you know, when you have a conversation and somebody is actually giving you unfettered attention, like you have my focus. I'm listening. I am engaged. It's more like that. So when I say serious, it's like, it's not flippant. It is, I'm here to take in the information. I am genuine and sincere. And I'm engaged. So that's what it feels like. Whoever this is for working with Spirit, asking these questions, or whoever Spirit wants to talk to. I feel like this is we're going to sit down and talk and really talk about it kind of thing. That's what it feels like. Right? Like, I don't know how that's going to come across in the reading, but the energy's kind of like that. And it just has me in that type of energy. So, alrighty, let me go ahead and get my... Alright, let's dig in. Oh, that was in one of the other readings. Like, I don't really say that, but like, let's dig in. I'm like, okay, that's a new saying that I'm going to be saying a lot lately, I guess. All right, let's dig in. All right, where are we going? Well, we're good. Obviously, it just feels like obviously. We're going to start with Golden Universal. Somebody is ready to leave this state of worry, concern, burden right here. They're ready to move towards a more desired, content state. Yeah. Fortune. They just showed me doing like this. I don't normally, not on here. I've done that with myself. I don't usually do that on here. So, all right. So we've got the Queen of Swords. That feels like knowing exactly what to do. Knowing, seeing, and clearly executing something. You see that she, you know, with the Queen of Cups, she has water around her. And like the water creeps up onto some of the areas where she's sitting. And so the water is so close for her. While you have a lot of emotions and intuition, she's squarely above sea level and on dry land. Like, it's not impacting how she's seeing something and her willingness to acknowledge the truth. Okay? It's funny because this is a Tower moment that's in reverse. We're going to leave it like that for right now. That is weird. Okay. We're going to go ahead and... I just realized I had the deck upside down. Which means when this flew... Well, I don't know. I mean, this flipped and it flipped upright, and it almost makes you think that that means it was in reverse in the deck because the deck was reversed. And so you may not be seeing something for what it is, understanding how to make the appropriate moves, not seeing something clearly maybe. And the assumption of the Tower being in reverse is almost like maybe something hasn't occurred yet. Let's keep going. The thing you don't recognize or see or understand at this point is that something fated will occur, something that's meant to occur, and that that you are meant to take up and move towards. But it has to come to you first, because with the Two of Cups, I look at this. Ooh, I just heard something in my head. I'll tell you what I just heard. Like it's like somebody else, like I'm tapping into somebody's thoughts. Because here's the energy at play, right? And the fact that this individual is extending the cup further. It's their cup that's in perfect alignment, that's under the influence of spirit, right? And so it's as if this individual is extending their cup to that. So it's almost like something is meant to come your way and be offered to you, which almost makes me feel like that means that there are other individuals involved, because it does feel like it moves through someone or there's a person, there's individuals involved, because even if it's an institution, at the heart of it, it's not like some inanimate thing is offering you something, it's the people within that institution. So there's like other persons involved in something. And so what you need to see is that obviously something faded, because between the Tower and the High Priestess, this is something that's meant to happen, that I think that it is divinely guided. And you may even pick up on, like, where is it? Like, you may be like, there's just kind of like, I don't understand. Anyways, because it's the correct option. It is the correct route. It is the right action to take. But it has to come towards you. And what I heard was, so why do I have to suffer in the meantime? Like, what about right now, though? So let's find out. What about right now? Why is it? Because somebody is obviously, like, not understanding. Like, you know, the fact that the deck was upside down, like in the Hangman. Like, I am not seeing things right. Like, why does it feel backwards? Something feels backwards. Something feels like the exact opposite of what should be happening is happening. Like, maybe your intuitive hits, like, it's not what I know to be true, or, you know, what I've intuitively felt. Like, it's almost as if like the exact opposite of what you feel guided towards and what you believe and intuitively know and have downloaded would happen is happening. You're like in the upside down world. Like, how did I end up here? Why am I in this space? And it's like, why do I have to suffer until something comes in? Ooh. Why do I have to suffer? The Hierophant is structures. There are systems and structures in place that are obstructing you, because the King of Pentacles is able to actualize things. You know, it is beyond being in the energy of capability and things being in alignment. It is making things happen. It is my works produce, right? Within the 3D realm, within my existence, within my reality. And it's like there are systems at play or structures that may be obstructing this, that are standing in the way. Yeah, society and what's happening right now is, and definitely has you in some sort of defense mode. More like, okay, it is a defensive stance, but it is more like a protective, like I'm having to work. Okay, so they're showing me like when you're in salt water, how the buoyancy helps you to float. And so it's easy to keep your head above water when the system that surrounds you is created to do such. But this is like being in freshwater where you're having to tread and you're constantly treading just to keep your head above water. Like all your energy is going to keeping your head above water. And it's like the suffering is, I am about to go under. I can't do this anymore. My body is weak, you know, that kind of thing. And there's some systems at play, and I understand that, but it feels like this is beyond excessive. Somebody's like, because they use the term suffer. I heard out of place. Out of place. I don't know what about the moon is out of place. Hold on 1 second. Out of place? I'm like, I was trying to interpret the meaning. Out of place? Shauna, out of place. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Holy moly. You know, we talked about the waters not being close, the emotions not even remotely creeping in. That with the Queen of Swords, it is seeing the greater picture. It is seeing things clearly. It is being unobstructed by the emotions, not even remotely being influenced by it, and just knowing what the truth is. But when you are having to tread water like this, when systems at play are not in your favor, when they actively are working against you and you're having to paddle to keep your head above water, it dredges up a lot of deep-seated fears, emotions, and the emotions itself can consume your intuition. and make it difficult to see a way out to change the trajectory that you're on. Like when you don't see a way out, that just adds to the sense of suffering, which no shit. So why can't they see a way out? Like, why is intuition not guiding them out of this space? Well, and even then, like, I feel like you're meant, like there's something that you're meant to align with. But I think the question is, how come in the interim things can't be better? And it's like, yes, I understand systems at play, and yes, but I don't think the person is asking, like, they're like, why can't I just at least make it easy to have my head above water so I don't drown? They're not even acting like, you know, they're not asking for the yacht or anything else like that. They're just like, can't I just at least have, because, you know, the water really represents spirit and the etheric, and so it's like, what can't I at least, and the idea of salt water is, it's almost like spirit kind of at least helping you to keep your head above water, and you feel like abandoned, like spirit's not even helping me. I'm doing this solely on my own. And so, yes, I understand the reality of the situation and the reality of my society, and that, you know, whatever is meant to happen is tied in with other individuals, but it doesn't negate the fact that you could at least, spirit, be helping me to keep my head above water. That's the question. That is the issue. I've got Billie Eilish playing in my head with that song. So the question is then, spirit, why do they not have help with it? Because I feel like barely keeping your head above water is not, it's not the same as asking to be like, I'm just so lucky. Everybody else in the world is getting impacted by this, but me, you know, like, you're not even saying, like, I just don't think that you feel like you're asking for much. And it really isn't. It's like, is it better for me to drown, to break before this could ever happen? Like, and the thing is, if something that's meant for you has other energies involved, then it begs the question of, there's no telling when that happens. So why must I stay in this state for such a prolonged period of time? Just something is not adding up. It's not making sense. Okay, we're going to use Secret Tarot. And so it's like, why can't I? Because it reminds me of, like, and I'm not a twin flame person, right? Because I really, I have trouble with the way people portray twin flames and, like, its origination. And I have somebody, a friend, that always talks about how this modern day story of, like, twin flames, you know, like a soul separating, really comes from necromancy. And it's like people are casting it and portraying it in a way that's just not accurate, and just making up something, fabricating something completely. And I'm the one that's like, I don't like the way that they portray it. Like some people really believe that people who are out there cheating and doing some crazy shit is their twin flame. And I'm like, But it reminds me of that story. Like, you know, like some people think that it's a part of the story to suffer so much because in the suffrage, I gained something so great afterwards, and it's for the greater good, and it's like only with the slim potentiality that things come together, because I'm telling you right now, the vast majority of people that believe that they're in a twin flame never end up. And so, you know what I'm saying? With that person. And the idea behind it is you really aren't supposed to be putting all your eggs in that basket. From those that I where I can at least understand where they're coming from. I really do not like listening to any spiritualist that creates a dynamic of codependency. And there's a few that read for this twin flame dynamic that I can get behind as the way in which they approach it, of, you know, like, if you've been waiting for 4 years, that's not it. You know, if you've been doing that, like, you don't, this path doesn't require you to self-sacrifice. And people will allow an immense amount of suffering within their life, and a lot of them do, because they will focus solely on that connection, and the point is not to focus on that connection, right? It is to focus on the self and the experience, and to be a part of this world, and to evolve. You know, it's an evolution. I have much more respect for individuals who reroute into everybody into saying, hey, this is about your expansion, and this is just one of the many journeys that moves towards that one can take in order to expand. And so my thing is that that's what it feels like. It's like you're not, like, it's like somebody going, Spirit, why would I totally bank on this and be willing to be in such a state of suffering because of circumstances, situations, and systems that are around me? Like, why would I stay in this state just banking on the off chance that this comes in? Like, because especially in a twin flame, you, like, the reunion or union or whatever the fuck it's called really banks on both parties. And that's placing a lot when there's a lot of people that place their own power, their life experience, and their path in the hands of another. When you do that, if it is not acting as a catalyst, you might want to rethink, because that's meant to be, like, my best understanding, the way that people, because again, like, I don't see things quite the way that they do with the twin flame situation. But it is meant to be a catalyst for you, not a hindrance. And so I think that's what this is saying. It's like, yes, there is something that is meant to come in for me, and it is meant to, things could align, and there is expansion and magic and destiny wrapped up in that. But life isn't just about getting to that place. That there's more than putting all my eggs in a basket and waiting for this to show up. And I feel like somebody is fighting to have their now. Like, okay, I get but what about right now? And I feel like you don't want Spirit saying, yes, well, this will happen, this will come in, this is, and it's like you're turning away from those kinds of messages, and you're like, that's not my concern. I'm ready to live now. And I need support in the now. And you feel as if you are not receiving that from Spirit. And whoever I'm reading for is like over the idea that I must suffer to expand or suffer to learn. That's like the devil card. Like, that is a self-imposed oppression. Like, buying into that notion. And I think somebody is sitting here going, I really believe that my current circumstance doesn't have to be. And so even there are systems at play that stop you from actuating certain things in your reality, and it has you having to put all your energy into it. And it's like, okay, even with that, okay, but that's not an excuse. I feel like somebody is saying, no, that's not the real reason. Because while this may be a contributing factor, somebody knows that it is possible and that they should be living differently. That the process and the journey is as important, if not more important, than what comes into an alignment. And so they're like, what about right now? Why? And I get the feeling that there have been a lot of action and attempts, and like they're showing me a kid who is just trying to enjoy themselves, and it's like a parent that's like, no, like everything that they attempt to do to entertain themselves, to enjoy the moment, to be a kid, is being blocked and removed, and it feels like an external force imposing it on them. And there's but it's not. It's like, it's not the system, it's not just society, it's something more than that. So let's because I just keep hearing, there's no way that this is all there is. There's got to be a way to be able to, and I am feeling this is very Pentacle stuff. This is very my reality as I'm living it right now. This isn't just, because I'm telling you, it doesn't feel like, oh, if you just shift this, that's not the answer. Somebody is sitting here and can see beyond the veil. That is where the clarity is. Like, no. I see beyond that. And remember, I was like, it's the upside down world. Like, it's not supposed to be happening like this. The exact opposite. And it feels like somebody is, as soon as they go, I'm going to do this, like they even think it, it's like there's this external force that goes, like is hearing it and is stopping it. But I also heard, but that can't be true either. Like there's something there, and it's like, what am I missing? Because this shouldn't be happening. There's the upside down world. Why is the exact opposite happening, Spirit? That's what they want to know. I think that's what they're coming to. And it's all surrounding money. I hope that makes sense for somebody. Queen of Wands, Ten of Cups, Lovers, I feel like this is what it's supposed to be. The energy is supposed to be the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Cups, the Lovers, the Queen of Wands is like the creator. Like I should be able to create in the now. If this reality or this reality isn't available to me, then I'll create a new reality. And it's like, that's where I think the problem is. It's like, why can't I do anything? Like there's no way that I am just supposed to, so the Queen of Wands is the creator, the initiator, they're showing me a steam engine, like the power behind. She's confident and she's capable, and she there's this love of your current circumstances, because you got the 9 of Cups and then the extra cup comes in. So I always say it's beyond just the self. It's this interactive love with, I can love life right now. Seeing the beauty in everything and feeling the reciprocity. You know, it's like, I just want to say somebody's not asking for too much. You know, I'm not saying I need a yacht, this, that, and the other. But having all of my needs met and being able to go get an ice cream from the ice cream shop, just to enjoy. Like, if somebody feels as if it's like everything being removed where you can't enjoy a single thing, which just seems not possible. But how do you enjoy something? How can you enjoy being in the water and the magic of the water if you're constantly having to tread, gasping for air, losing steam? Again, nobody's asking for, I mean, a yacht. Nobody's asking for, you know, I just want to be. I want to feel good in my own skin, and I can't right now. This is like the love of life that you can share. This is being happy not just with yourself, but with your external circumstances. And I almost want to say somebody's just looking to be content, not even like exuberant or lavish or overly joyed. I think somebody's looking for peace. And the Lovers is this the idea of something coming together. And somebody's like, I think this is saying I shouldn't have to wait for a person to arrive or for a thing to arrive or for me to come in union with something in order to have that. Because that's the fucking problem. That's the fucking problem. It's as if something is just held hostage until this one magic, and you know that's not true. You know it's not true. So what then? Fucking tell me what? What is it that I need? Give me the truth. Show me clearly. Because there's no way that everything that's possibly good and content and happy and peaceful hinges on other things coming in. Because that is like insanity. That is handing your fucking power away. But it is also equally impossible to enjoy anything when you are having to pour from an empty fucking cup. Where's the joy in that? Where is the peace in that? It just doesn't make sense. Tell us about the, okay, so a different deck. Okay, sorry. They said, okay. I almost said it twice. Did y'all see? The upside down world. What is this? Why do they feel like it's like everything? You remember that's what it was. Stranger Things. I didn't even catch the clue when I kept saying the upside down world. Stranger Things on Netflix. Everything in the upside down world reflected what was really happening in the other world, only wrong. I mean, everything from the trailer to the, you know what I mean? It was like, and everywhere you step, like all the vines, it was like every move or step was a trap, was a potential trap. Like something isn't right. It's like it mimics and mirrors and true reality, but it wasn't. It's the upside down world. Why are they in the upside down world? Like something isn't right here. I can even feel it, Spirit. Something isn't right. What is happening? And I feel like whoever I'm talking about isn't even looking like, oh, something's got a curse on me, or something's got a or something. Like, they're beyond, they're like, no. Even with that, they're at a point where they're like, there's no way that with all that I have given and all in who that I am, that at this point I'm still fighting against something like that. Like, there should be no amount of this, that, and the other coming at me that could put me into this. And so I feel like it's like, why are they in the upside down world? What is the upside down world? Why is it so opposite of what, I mean, it looks like what reality should be. Like, it looks like it's reality, but it's not. I don't know. Okay, I hope you understand that. Five of Wands. Queen of Swords keeps coming out repetitively. King of Wands. Give me a moment. Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands. Listen to me. Y'all fucking know better than that. Nine of Swords is what I was trying to say. Nine of Swords really comes out a lot. So they show me okay, so they're bringing me back to Strange Things, and they're showing me someone, like one of the kids down there, standing, because they anywhere they move, they step on something, they're going to awaken something, you know what I mean? And so they can't let them know they're there. Like, they can't step on something because then they will be detected. And so, and they're just standing there, and it's like the air is quiet. I don't know how to explain it. And I see them panning around, looking around, like trying to take it in, trying to figure it out. Like they're seeing things very accurately. So it's like saying you are seeing something. You're right on the money with this. Money. You've got this. You are seeing it. You're right. You are in the upside down, and I just, you know how like in a movie you see a person just doing like a 360 real slow, and they're looking like, what the fuck? You know, they showed me that, and then they showed me, what was her name? 11. That might be a number for somebody. In the void, like the room that's dark, and there's water on the floor, and there's nothing. And she's spinning, looking around. And I'm trying to figure out what the fuck they're talking about. Like the imagery is there for, and maybe one of you all understands that. I'm over here like, are they tapping into a different timeline? Are they and it's not about a different timeline. Because, you know, like 11, she would submerge herself. So it's not like, oh, I know things get real woo-woo sometimes. Like, you know, like, oh, I've switched with another dimensional self, or any of that shit. It's kind of like, no. But I know 11 intentionally goes there to try and figure something out. And I think that's what's happening is, I think the kid that's seeing, like, you know, it's like the town, but it's in the upside down world, and they're like seeing everything. They're taking it in, and they're realizing it looks like reality, but it's It's the exact opposite of reality. But again, I don't feel like it's an illusion. It's real. It's real. This is really happening. And then it's like you go into the deep recesses to try and figure something out, and there's no answers. That's what 11 is doing. She's looking, and there's nothing there. She's looking for answers, but there's no answers. Okay? I think we already knew that. I don't know. Why the imagery is like wild right now. 5 of Wands. It's like you're fighting something. You're battling something that you may need to, you're in this loop of a battle, this loop of conflict, chaos, difficulty. And it's funny because the devil has all the symbols of all these institutions and structures and ideologies that trap us as a human race. So we have the 6 of Cups, the Chariot, and the 10 of Pentacles. You know, in Stranger Things, it's as if the upside down world is trying to come into the real world. Like it's trying to take over. That's the whole point. It's like this upside down world is trying to impose itself on what true reality is meant to look like and be. It wants to be the true reality. We're gonna move, guys. This upside down world wants to be the reality. It wants to be the only reality. Okay. It wants to be the only reality. Because the Queen of Swords, we've been talking, is all about that clarity, the knowing, the understanding, and seeing things in its entirety, right? Eagle eye view, in its entirety, for what it really truly is. Seeing it for what it really is. With clarity can come the restoration of happiness, victory, and forward movement and alignment. And the permanence of such. It's as if, I don't think this is quite what it is, but it's like your old self trying to fight to be the only reality that you exist in, trying to defeat this next chapter, your true reality of what you're meant to align with. Like it doesn't want to die off, and it's trying to keep you trapped in a loop, battling it so that you never, it's like the upside down world doesn't want to die. It doesn't want to cease to exist. Why would your old self want that so fucking bad? Tell me about the King of Wands. I'm gonna okay. King of Wands would be, if you were able to see something completely clearly, then oh shit, you'd be able to have your new start. King of Wands has an unparalleled motivation, drive, follow through, focus. If anybody's going to get something done, it will be the fucking King of Wands. And he will burn everything else down in the process. Like he burns those old bridges till there's nothing but the new. Your old self is fighting. That's why it doesn't feel like somebody else cursing you or hexing. I mean, there may be that going on. But your old self, something about your old reality does not, it's distorted. It doesn't want to die. It wants to be the reality, the only reality. And it seeks to keep you trapped. And it does such. Tell me about the Nine of Swords. Give me more. You would leave it. So the Nine of Swords represents your old reality, your old self. Wrapped up in your old self are all the fears you accumulated over time, the anxiety, the nerves, the interference. It's running interference, your old self. What the fuck? So it's not an entity. Like this isn't something like an entity you created out of your fears. I'm questioning that. Your old state of existence may have created. Okay, so I tell people this, and I have seen and witnessed, oh my gosh, like these black masses, okay, that are, and so here's the thing, a lot of times people will see stuff in homes that they've moved into, right? And they're like, there's this shadow person, this shadow thing that like just moves across and I can see it. And frequently those are what I call it's an entity of your own creation, meaning that when someone exists in a state of hatred, fear, imprisonment, victimhood, despair, and anger for an extended period of time, they can create their own entity that then is like feeds off of them. Now, people have the capacity to detach from that through their healing processes, through cutting cords, through energy work, through, and then you have this entity that is fully created, that seeks a source, and it is left behind, right? Like I see this frequently, a lot, and it's like, so like when people move into homes and they see these things, think of somebody who's left their old life behind or has passed over. That it is a very much earth-bound entity, is what I want to say. It is bound to the reality in which it was created. It is bound, I gotta write this shit down, to the it is bound to the reality in which it was created. Hold on. And therefore, it is it needs you as a source. Oh, it's so funny that I was like, but it doesn't feel like an entity, because I don't think that you recognize it as an entity. I don't think that you recognize that you have created such one of your own. I almost feel like this, whoever I'm reading for, is aware of that and maybe has seen. Oh, they're showing me images, guys. Holy shit. If you have seen these shadows moving around in your home here recently, I want to say like in the last 3 weeks, they're showing me somebody who is detached completely from their own entity manifestation, and it is like running around freely. If you found disconnecting from your own reality to be exponentially, unrealistically difficult, like there's no reason why, this is why. And as with any energy or entity, if you know it's so you hear in Catholic, like in Catholicism, if you can call a demon by its name, you then have dominion over it. Like you have control. And where that really stems from is when you know an entity's source of origination, when you can identify where or how it originated, where and how it originated, then you have the upper hand in that situation. Which would make it like, remember I said, it's almost like you feel like something knows every single time. You're like, okay, I'm gonna try this, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna da. Oh, this is a great idea. It does. It fucking does. It does. I feel like this thing has been wreaking havoc for you for a period of time. And you may be feeling like, how did it form? And I want to say you need to go back a bit further. I feel like you've been moving towards this detachment from it. Like they're giving me 3 years. Like you've been peeling away from this thing, and it has fought tooth and nail. You've been peeling away from it. They said your whole goal, like you entered into a phase about 3 years ago, like something must have happened, like either just prior to the pandemic or during the pandemic, because I'm getting like 2020 vibes, 2019 vibes, maybe even like the 4 years before the pandemic is when this thing, like think Dark Night of the Souls, Soul Death, all that kind of stuff, like when you're in the thick of it, this thing might have formed. And you may have had a time period where you did pull away from it, but it reattached somehow. For some of you, like the way in which it unfolds. But I am getting that this thing is from, like, you could go back 8 years. This thing is from before. And so you're not thinking back that far because you have, like, for some of you, you really did detach at one point, and but it lurked. It was constantly around. And it reattached. It's like something happened for it to reattach. And your whole goal, I feel like 3 years ago, your whole goal, like, and that might be when you went through an awakening, I don't know, but you were, I think it got scared. Like the idea of you permanently detaching from it. And something about, like, you've been somebody here has been dealing with more than just this. And so your focus was always on the other things, people, energies that were coming your direction, and constantly working on that and trying to free yourself that you didn't even pay attention to the thing that was on your back. And somebody here may have always felt like there was something behind them. They're showing me somebody using salt to cleanse their back. Like there's a spot right on the back side of your neck, like where like some people have a hump on their neck, like where the neck meets the back part of the spine, the lumbar area. And it's like somebody's always felt something right there. And that they constantly do cleanses. And while it may have subdued, you've detached, though, is the thing from this thing. And it has been distorting and working for survival. Because if you move on, it has to find a different source. But see, now that you're aware that it's even there, you can disseminate it on your own. You created it, and it will fight you on this, but you can disseminate it. You can, they're showing me like it turning into a gaseousness that then, you know, like when you put something out into the air, how the particles float apart. And then because they're no longer together, they don't have the same impact. It's almost as if it's like sending it to the ethers where it can be transmuted. It is breaking it down so that it doesn't attempt to reattach to you or anybody else. So you're in the upside down. Think back to Stranger Things. If I move and take a step and I trigger the thing that you're afraid to step on, like in Stranger Things, that entity that you don't want to trigger is your thing. And this thing, I find it just like, it seems like it's roaming free in somebody's home. I also get that somebody has done a lot of cleansing of their space. They're giving me somebody needs to wash their floors. Because you're right. The process for this other thing to come in is not meant to happen like this. And your old reality is trying to be your only reality. Your old self is trying to be the only existence. That is the existence in which it thrives. That it stays alive. And all of this, the easiest and best way to ensure its longevity seems to be through deprivation of money, so that you are constantly treading water, so that you feel unsupported by the energies at play. And it keeps you in the state of not knowing or understanding the truth. They're showing me 11 again in that empty room. Looking for an answer. You have sought the fucking answer to this. You have asked and asked and asked, and you've never been given the truth. And the only reason you're getting it now is because it's not attached to you, but you need to know this so you can deal with it, get rid of it, and so that your reality, it's like so you can reemerge into your true reality. It's like going back in the instead of the upside down world, or the down, going into the upright. Like they're showing me the trailer where they back into their true reality. It's like you are stuck. So it reminds me of like WandaVision. Dude, I'm bringing out all kinds of fucking shows and shit. Like, you know how Wanda would almost take over, you know, the chaos switch? She took over everybody's minds and their perception and the reality. And internally they were screaming. They knew something wasn't right and it was causing agony. They're like, this isn't right. This isn't real. But they couldn't break free from that. Damn. May I also say, to create such a, it's one thing to be pure hatred and anger and to create that type of an entity, but this feels like chaos witch energy. This feels like somebody who has actually immense spiritual power, is what I would say. Somebody who is very strong, because only you could feed that type of power to this entity that you've created. Fuck me. Holy shit. So now that you are aware, I am channeling so goddamn much. Now that you are aware, you can take the actions necessary, because the Two of Wands is always about taking actions that are necessary, the right kind of actions towards your desires. You have to do something about this entity that is roaming free. And you may want to seek out assistance from somebody else who can help identify this, see it. And I want to say you're seeing it, but sometimes it's like it's nice to have. I'm not saying you have to, because if you created it, you can fucking destroy it. But now that you know, it cannot hide from you. And if you take this information to somebody that's trusted, take this to somebody that you trust within the spiritual community, then you can discuss it and you can figure out how to alchemize it, disseminate it, just like disintegrate this thing so that it then turns into a different matter. And it's almost like they're showing me again the particles of like this gaseousness, and as it spreads out, because it mixes with the other air, its potency, it's like this is why you have to open up the doors in your home. That may be pertinent, like you need to cleanse your floors, open the doors in your home. You need to like do something tangible to mimic the etheric as you're doing this. And it's like handing it over in pieces to the etheric so that it can be used, because it's energy still, it can be used for something different. You need to get rid of this thing, okay? And when you do, you'll be able to take action towards your expansion. The Three of Wands is about being able to go beyond what you have, where you've been. Is going from the Two of Wands to Three, finally receiving what it is that you need. It's like now your actions will have reciprocity. Because like I said, I remember to say, like, you've done everything and nothing. There's no way, nothing has happened. There's no fucking way. Holy shit. You've got to, I hope to fuck God this gets to the people. I hope to God it gets to people. The right people. You have no clue what's on the other side of this. Yes, you do. They said, yes, you do. You've seen it. You know how it's supposed to go. You understand it. You're like, this is wrong. You want to return, because again, they're like, it's not even a timeline. It's not even a reality. Same with like WandaVision, where she like, you're in your reality, but you're not. Because everything that you're experiencing and seeing and perceiving, and it's like, you're not able to do the things you know that you're supposed to. Remember, like those people, they look like they were in the 60s, and like they were still in their reality. So it's like you're looking at shit like, okay, that looks like this and that looks like this, kind of like, now we're going back to Stranger Things. You're in the upside down world, but shit's just not right. Like you're looking, you're like, okay, yes, but no. Like what the fuck? So it's kind of like, I use the term reality, but they're also correcting me. Like it's not that these are different realities. Holy shit. Wow. Remember when I told you all, anybody who's followed me for some time, that when you are in the healing process, somehow it's so much easier to forgive others than it is yourself. Because once you've worked through the dynamic that you've had with the experiences with other people, you then come to the place where you have nothing but to focus on the self and any realizations that come with it. And then floods in all the knowings of where you played a factor or a part, how you held on to things longer than you should have, how you did it. And it's like, it's always more difficult. I can't tell you how many people can't, like, that's the place where they can't move beyond. The pain of self-abandonment, of forsaking the self. The reality of that is just so fucking great. And that's where people get stuck sometimes. And that's why you're like, I know this isn't something external to me. This is the same similar situation. It was like the coming to the reality of this was of my own creation. Again, we create things sometimes because of the systems, right, that were in play. Again, and I remember I said it was like back in like pandemic or just before the pandemic, there was stuff happening. And so things were working against you, like stuff happened. And it's like, it created this space of, I just want to say, forgive yourself for how long it took to come to this realization of what is really happening now. Sometimes we can chastise ourselves and judge ourselves for not being able to hear it, pick up on it, understand it. And this is something that Spirit's been trying to convey to you, but this cancer that grew from you wasn't responding to any of the interventions. That Spirit tried to throw your way. It's just time to, it's time to be done with it, to end it, so you can move on. I really hope that this finds who it's meant for. This is exceptionally impactful, and I can tell a lot of shit's going to happen. And you would have felt this, like every inch of this message would have been like, holy shit. But this is what you need to do. First and foremost, you know if this is for you. I'm sending a lot of love your way, a lot of compassion, and I look forward to hearing all the magnificent and wonderful things that will happen as you move through this and move beyond this. Thank you for joining, and I will see you guys later this week.